Who's going to win next year?
Sarah, thank you very much. Some great stories from the papers. Sarah Ward, Chief Udder at boozyodders.co.uk, an alcoholic cocktail ice cream maker, reviewing today's newspapers for us.
29 minutes to 8. Good morning. It's breakfast on BBC Radio Kent with John and Maggie. Could it be the future of opposition politics in Kent? There's a by-election on Tunbridge and Morning District Council tomorrow. The Lib Dems and the Greens are not fielding candidates, and they're urging supporters to back Labour. Well, Fred Long is the Labour candidate. We've also got David Allen with us, who's standing in the by-election for UKIP. We've so far been unable to contact the Conservative candidate, Georgina Thomas. Fred, first of all, Fred Long, good morning to you. Where was this deal done? In some smoky back room somewhere?
No, it's not a deal. It's a pragmatic approach. Labour come a very good second in the last time there was a poll there.
Labour did?
Yes, yep. Very good second. And the Greens and Lib Dems are, as we say, taking this pragmatic approach. While the voting system is as it is, if we stood as before, it would be three sort of paper candidates standing and having no effect.
So is this really an anti-Tory alliance?
This is a way of allowing the people in Trench Ward. There's 70% of people in Trench Ward that didn't vote Tory, and that's 70%. There were probably 30 that never left the house on the voting day because it's a strong Tory seat.
Okay.
Doesn't win. That's a given. And if they think, why should I leave the house? It's a safe Tory seat. My vote doesn't count. Well then. This time, tomorrow morning, there won't be free paper candidates. It won't be a wasted vote. Leave the house. Old Tory voters come out because the other parties have got behind me. A, it makes sense, and B, because of who I am and what I've done in Tunbridge.
Okay, David Allen for UKIP. Morning. Of those 70% that didn't vote Conservative, how many of those do you think are UKIP supporters?
Well, at the moment, I don't know. We'll find out after tomorrow. But I really think the way to win elections is to give people robust and persuasive reasons why they should vote for you.
Well, surely the reason for this lot is that it keeps the Tory out, and if you don't like Conservatives, it's a way of keeping them out of power, isn't it?
Well, that's not a substantial reason. You've just heard from Fred, and Fred's a really nice guy, but he actually said nothing that's going to change anything in Tunbridge and Morning or in the ward. UKIP stand, for example, for local referendums for major development and planning projects. This means the local council just can't railroad stuff through on the say of half a dozen people. It also means that they have to win the vote. If they have to win the vote, they have to win the argument.
Well, that's fine, and you've made your... I'm sure that's in your leaflet.
Yeah, well, that's what's important.
We'll find out, won't we? Because if people think that's more important than keeping the Tory out, you'll win. Exactly.
Now, Labour, nationally and locally, have nothing to offer. The Greens and the Liberal Democrats clearly have nothing to offer in this by-election because they can't even be bothered to put a candidate up. Now, to my mind, 3 times nothing is still nothing.
But there is a similarity, if you like. If you look at the Lib Dems, the Labour and the Greens, they are 3 parties that have a certain amount of crossover in their policies, don't they?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
Well, I'll tell you if you like. For instance, the Labour Party.
People that vote Green and vote Democrat.
Well, hang on. The Labour Party and the Lib Dems are fairly environmentally sound. I mean, they're not as environmental as the Greens, but they certainly they're more environmental than UKIP, for instance.
Well, I don't know whether I would necessarily agree with you, but that's a completely different.
Well, you have got quite a few climate change deniers in your party, haven't you?
Well, as I said, that's a different argument. I could point to a number of areas where we have been misled in that. But let's not go that way.
Oh, hang on, Fred. As Fred is speaking for 3 parties, we better get him in again.
I mean, David. Last time I met him, he was going on about fighting all the lies, and he was standing on this platform of attacking lies. And again, you could ask David where the 350 million is that was promised. And do
you think there will be a Brexit? Fred, do you think there'll be
his actual leaflets actually had the correct word in? So there's issues there around.
Fred, do you think there'll be a Brexit element in this by-election in Tunbridge and Morning, for heaven's sake?
There could well be.
Really?
There could well be. And just to underline that, we all met the the local sort of, should we say, left-leaning groups. We met campaigning for Remain on the High Street. So we've carried forward that friendship that we had.
Okay.
And again, the common areas, climate change, affordable housing to rent and buy, congestion in our high street. The CO2 levels are above legal limits. So those are those areas we will be campaigning.
Well, they are, David. He's got some policies.
Well, actually, they're just complaints. We all have those, but there aren't any policies. Let me give you another one. UKIP think that local people should have enhanced priority for housing and services.
And what do you mean by a local person?
People who live locally in the borough.
Yes. So if you live in the well, that's already the case, isn't it? If you live locally, you're more likely to get a council house, if I can call it that, than you are if you live in Stratford. I'm
not sure that that's entirely true.
Really?
In fact, it isn't in a lot of areas.
Okay. But is it true in Tunbridge?
How about another area? We also think that councils should look towards themselves when it comes to saving money. I mean, for example, we've got 54 councillors in Tunbridge and Morning.
Yeah.
There are only 24 wards, so why 54 councillors?
I don't know. Well,
you know, why
have you got 54 councillors and 24 wards?
There are questions that need to be asked.
Okay, fine.
What I'm trying to do is to put forward a programme for change, and some radical change. I mean, local referendums is a really major change.
I understand, yeah.
What happens.
But, David, what will be interesting about this is because your new leader, Paul Nuttall, has said that he's now targeting the Labour vote. Well, this will be an interesting, I know it's only a microcosm of what's going on nationally, but it'd be interesting to see how many of that Labour vote goes over to you in this by-election, won't it?
Well, it would do. I mean, Fred, as you said, I met Fred. Fred's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
But he's not said anything very much about change, apart from getting rid of the Conservatives, that we both agree about, because...
Well, you'd like to get rid of them as well?
Of course.
Perhaps you should all get together then. Have you ever thought about standing down, Dave, and just having one candidate who doesn't like Tories?
David, welcome over, mate. The first convert from UKIP to Labour. I'll be delighted to have you on board.
This is about principle.
Yeah,
John, as far as this pact is concerned, I mean, this is nothing new. It's been done before. It's been done in the past. But really, my attitude towards it is one of profound indifference.
Okay.
I don't think it'll make much difference. And anyway, let me just correct Fred on one thing.
Very briefly.
In the 2015 general election, in this ward, the Labour Party got 12% of the vote, which was exactly the same as the percentage that UKIP got.
Oh, there we are. Anyway, look, thank you, gentlemen, for being so nice to each other on the programme. Thank you very much. UKIP's David Allen, Labour's Fred Long, who are both standing in a by-election on Tunbridge and Morning Borough Council tomorrow. At 8:30, we'll speak to the Liberal Democrats and the Green Party who are not putting up. We want your views on this, particularly if you're a Lib Dem or a Green voter. What do you say? Will you vote Labour? That's what I'd really like to hear. Will you go and vote Labour in the by-election tomorrow? Give us a call, 03459 811111.
21 minutes